It's been a terrific season for the Missouri State Bears in volleyball. They come in with a record of 23-4, playing a very good team tonight in Creighton. The Blue Jays are 18-8, and only half a game separates the two in the conference standings. Creighton and Missouri State tonight in college volleyball from Hammond Center. And a fun night of volleyball is ahead for these fans as these two teams fight out for second place in the conference, trailing only Wichita State, as Creighton and Missouri State get set to go in volleyball tonight. Hi everybody, welcome in to Hammond Student Center. I'm Don West. We're joined by former longtime Missouri State coach Linda Dollar. And Linda, these two teams right below Wichita State in the conference rankings right now with just 2 weeks to go in the season.
Well, they're below Wichita State. The Bears still have a chance maybe to get in that number one seed, but they want to be number one or number two. So this is a real pivotal match for the Bears to garner either one of those first two seeds.
Yeah, the top two seeds would get a bye in the conference tournament with the top 6 teams qualifying, and it's here at Hammond Center on Thanksgiving weekend. Let's talk about Creighton a little bit. They have a really good middle player in Kelly Gock.
Kelly Gock is doing everything for the Blue Jays this season. She's
their kills leader for one.
Kills leader, over 4 kills per game, and she's a great blocker for them. The Bears definitely have to pay attention to her. She's going to get a lot of balls in the middle, and she's going to get her share of kills. But you know, they have a lot more that they have to more or less accomplish as opposed to just Kelly Gock.
Missouri State's kills leader is Jamie Adams, and she's having a terrific season. 371 kills, a .228 hitting percentage, and she leads the way for Missouri State.
And Jamie Adams has really come along this year as a part-time starter last year. Now she's in that leadership role as a senior. I know the Blue Jays are keying on her a little bit, trying to slow down the Bears' outside attack. So Jamie Adams has to have a good match tonight for the Bears to win.
Creighton and Missouri State set to go in college volleyball. It's all coming up next on Mediacom Connections, Channel 14.
From town to town, nothing outperforms the big Ford F-150. Check it out during Ford Truck Month. F-150 has the most towing and payload in its class.
Hard as these trucks work, I can see why they're number one.
Now get 0% financing with $1,000 cash back, or get up to $4,500 cash back on F-150. Roll into Truck Month, going on now at your local Ford dealer.
College volleyball set to go tonight at Hammond Student Center. We'll be just a few minutes late in getting started. They're introducing some of the parents of team members down on the court here before this match gets underway with the Creighton Blue Jays, who come in with a terrific record of 18-8. 12-3 is their record in the conference. Kirsten Bernthal Booth is the head coach of the Blue Jays in her 5th season. A great player at Truman State in her playing days in the mid-1990s. She was Missouri's 1997 NCAA Woman of the Year and is one of the all-time great setters in Division II with over 6,000 career assists at Truman State. Here's a look at the starters tonight for Creighton. The Blue Jays go with Allie Elke, Carolyn Decker, Lauren Blumke, Kelly Gock, Corey Lebedek, and Sarah Schulze. Now at Hammond Student Center, our national anthem. Creighton's choir taking up most of Section G, and a terrific job on the national anthem here tonight with a big crowd on hand to see this volleyball match between Creighton and Missouri State, and a lot of special things going on surrounding the events tonight here too that we'll get to as we move along tonight. We showed you Creighton's starting lineups and their libero. There's Melissa Stokes. In her 12th season at Missouri State, she's had a great run since we saw her last on September 29th in the Evansville match. Missouri State is 7-2 since then, with both of the losses at the hands of Wichita State, which is at 13-1 in the conference right now. Starting lineup for Missouri State tonight: Sarah Staubach will be at an outside hitter. Caitlin Ponzo, the setter. Shayla Patrick, Sarah Thomas, Kara Hackman, and Jamie Adams rounding out the opening look tonight. We'll also see Nikki Van de Populier in there very quickly for Missouri State tonight. Terry Del Conte gets the call as the libero tonight for Missouri State. And Creighton's libero is Bianca Rivera, the junior from San Juan, Puerto Rico. So it should be a great evening.
I think this is going to be one of those matches that it could go either way. Both teams know how much is riding on this particular match in terms of getting a good seed. In talking to an assistant coach prior to this matchup, they said they've never really played their best volleyball when they've come into Hammond Center. And maybe we can give the crowd credit to that, but we'll wait and see what happens. Creighton has an outstanding team, and so do the Bears. This looks like it's going to be just a wonderful match here tonight.
Linda, if several different things happen in the next 2 weeks as we close out the conference race, you could see, for one, you could see Missouri State catch Wichita State, possibly, but you could also see it maybe as much as a three-way tie for a second place.
That's right. The Bears, logistically, they're probably going to end up second if they win tonight. But anything can happen. If Creighton beats us tonight and loses to Wichita State tomorrow, the Bears still have to go up to Northern Iowa and play. If Northern Iowa would happen to beat us and Wichita State beats them, there could be a three-way tie for second seed. And that could come down to games or points even. And
you really want that second seed if you're in the conference race here now, because if you get the number 1 or 2 seed, you don't have to play an extra match in the conference tournament.
That's right. The tournament starts Friday morning at 10 o'clock. There's the play-in into the semifinals is Friday morning at 10 and 12:30. You want to have that time as a rest time, so if you get the 1 or 2 seed, you don't play until Friday night. And that's just critical, because you want your top 2 teams to come out and play in that championship match. It's very important that our conference have the 2 best teams playing in that showcase match.
And right now, if you look at the overall records, that's Wichita State and Missouri State, but Creighton could hand the Bears their 3rd conference loss, and they could catch them in the conference standings here tonight. So,
well, both teams know what's at stake. I think both teams are gonna play on top of their game tonight, and let's hope that the Bears come out on top.
Missouri State will serve first. Terry Del Conte will let it fly, and this match underway at Hammond Student Center. Creighton and Missouri State in volleyball. Jamie Adams. And that is Carolyn Decker getting the first point of the night for Creighton, a junior from Bellevue, Nebraska, south of Omaha.
She finds the end line. Tough call for the Bears. Looked like it was going to float out, but it managed to stay in.
Server is Laura Blemke, and that's a great serve. But Missouri State, for the moment, keeps it alive, but it gets down, and Creighton scores the first 2 points here tonight.
Little miscommunication between Del Conte and Hackman. Bears have to pass well.
Adams Bears will go to her a lot tonight. Boy, and that's the freshman, Allie Elke.
Elke hitting one-on-one on the outside against Ponzo. Shayla Patrick went up with their middle blocker and did not get back outside to help on the double block.
That one's in. A 4-0 start for Creighton.
Nothing going right yet for the Bears. They have no kills yet. They've taken 3 swings. Can't seem to find the court just yet. Another good dig by Creighton.
Here comes Adams with the dink. And a double hit on Creighton's side gets the Bears their first point.
Finally an error by Gok in the middle on the setting. Bears not playing with much authority here at the very beginning of this set.
Here's Nikki Van de Populier, who quickly rotated in to serve. That's Elke again.
Elke one-on-one again. They're getting a good matchup. The Bears not able to get a double block on their outside attack.
She is second in kills behind Kelly Gok on Creighton's team as a freshman. That's Ponzo, and that is touched, and a Missouri State point.
Adams with a good swing on the outside, a good dig by Creighton, and a good dump by Ponzo, who stays actively involved in the offense. And the Bears need that, obviously, in a 5-1 attack. Elke
Sarah
out of the
Thomas.
back row.
Too much from Adams. And the Jays make it 6-2.
Adams getting a lot of swings here early. That's number 8, I believe, in attempts, with no kills. Another deep swing. Might see an early substitution here on the outside. Although Adams is a veteran, you're not going to see that too often. She just needs to find the court a time or two and she'll be just fine.
Carolyn Decker serving deep. And there's Adams getting it down.
Good swing by Adams this time, cutting the ball across court a little bit as the Creighton block was right down the line.
Adams to the back row now to serve. That was Kelly Gok. And from the front center position, it's put down by Corey Lebeda.
Bears passing the ball over the net on the dig, and that gives Creighton just a free swing and an easy point. They lead by 5.
Little lift contact there. Point to Creighton to make it 9-3, and we'll get an early timeout called by Melissa Stokes with Creighton out to a 6-point lead. Fuzzy Wilkerson working the crowd tonight, and a big crowd. They have opened the blue section on the side opposite us, the east side. Creighton will have Kelly Gok serving with the Blue Jays up 9-3 in game 1. And Sarah Staubach coming in, that left front position.
Sarah Staubach with the call that time and puts the ball away. The Bears needed that kill out of that timeout.
Sarah Thomas, kind of a different look serve for her. And the Blue Jays get it down again with Lauren Blumke, sophomore from Tampa, Florida.
Well, the Bears are getting some hands on the attacks by Creighton, but can't seem to come up with that next contact.
Staubach with the winner this time for Missouri State. There has been a rash of injuries and illnesses that have hit the team the last few weeks, and Staubach has been part of that.
And Sarah is a key part to this offense for the Bears, and they're trying to keep her healthy and kept her out of a lot of jumping this week.
Yes,
so
she hasn't practiced much. She's had a right leg injury that...
Well, the longer the match it goes on, probably the worse her jumping is going to be, but that's really not the Bears' problem right now. They're totally out of system, not passing the ball very well at all, and looking a little frustrated.
And finally a serve in the net gives Missouri State a break. Serve from Sarah Scholze.
Caitlin Ponzo trying to encourage her teammates, as well as Sarah Thomas out there, two of the three seniors, and Adams back up on the front row.
Boy, just out.
Bears just not getting the breaks, not hitting the corners, just barely missing the line.
Lead referee tonight, Marty Procco. There's Shayla Patrick.
Shayla Patrick on the outside, hitting that quick behind the setter. You'll see she gets way up there and hits it down the line. The defender not able to get over that far to get a good pass.
Winner for Kelly Gach.
Kelly Gach on the 31, or this kind of a shoot set in that 3 position. She hits from all over the net.
Gach definitely a conference player of the year candidate, second in the conference in kills and third in kills per game.
Ponzo with her second kill tonight, as Creighton was pinched way in behind the block. Ponzo, good court awareness.
14-8, so the Bears have stayed even. The deficit hasn't gotten any bigger here the last few points. Elke from the back. Jamie Adams. Adams again.
Well, that's by far one of the best rallies we've had thus far. And Jamie Adams gets the last say. She hits over Lebeda.
She'll turn her attention to basketball once the volleyball season is over, but she'd like to see that go way over into December.
Absolutely. She's not thinking about basketball tonight by any means. This is a far too important matchup.
That's just out. Decker's serve a little too long. Katie Mihal comes in for the back row for Creighton, a senior defensive specialist from Omaha. She wears 11. Joust, and Creighton gets the best of it.
Sarah Thomas, the veteran, up against the junior setter for Creighton, loses the jousting battle. Setters are by far the best on the joust at the net, I think.
Good dig by Foley, but a double hit. Back to a 5-point game now. Missouri State trying to claw back into this one.
Bears still down by 5. It's hard to chip back. They just need to run a couple points here.
Wow, Elke can play.
Elke up there nice and high, and Bears might want to try to challenge that back row attack. by trying to block a little bit.
Ooh, little too tall for Shayla Patrick.
Bears missing connection there. Giving an easy point back to Creighton. They lead by 7 now. Bears need to stop it.
Staubach gets it down. So aside from Staubach's leg injury, there was a sinus infection going around the team a little bit too, Ponzo and Thomas.
It seems as though they've had some, I don't know if it's been flu or the sinus infection or whatever, but sharing a lot of that, unfortunately. There's a mishit on Thomas.
Sarah Schulze. Patrick rejected by Lauren Blemke.
Shayla Patrick doing a much better job in the middle, but she still needs to come in a little bit faster on that middle attack.
Staubach.
Here's
Sarah
a swing by
Staubach, sophomore.
Staubach on the outside going cross court again.
Save by Adams. And the block for Ponzo.
Just a really great effort by the Bears during that rally. Good save by Ponzo at the net, and then a good block by Patrick and Ponzo.
Here's Adams. She'll get another swing. Taken up by Rivera, the libero. Patrick blocked. Boy, big block again for Blemke. She has been all over that Bear logo at the front row center.
They seem to be reading what Patrick is going to do, and they haven't been fooled much at all yet. Another good serve by Creighton. Bears just not passing well at all. Coach Melissa Stokes calls her second timeout.
22-14, Creighton leading game 1.
It's built in the Midwest for the Midwest with a flex fuel capable 300 horse Triton V8 for best in class payload and towing. With 18-inch chrome wheels, chrome running boards, a chrome grille, and a leather wrapped steering wheel. The Ford F-150 Midwest Limited Edition. Classy looks, best in class capability. Get it now with $2,000 in package discounts. Lease one today for $289 a month. Visit your local Midwest Ford dealer.
Don West with Linda Dollar at Hammond Student Center. Creighton leading 22-14 in game 1 of the best of 5.
Well, the Bears have to get on track offensively. Right now they're hitting 154 to 400 for Creighton. And Creighton is doing a great job blocking, even though they are just out blocking the Bears 2-1. But they are reading much better. Bears not passing very well. They're out of system. You have to pass well in order to create opportunities for your attack. That enables you to fool the blockers on the other side of the net. There's another poor pass over the net.
And Adams gets the touch.
Even though Jamie had 2 blockers in front of her, she just rotates her shoulders and tools the ball off the outside hands of the block.
There's an art to doing that, isn't there?
Absolutely.
Amanda Popular with a serve. And Elke cross court but wide. And Missouri State strings together a couple of points now to get it back to 6.
Elke finally has a hitting error. First one tonight out of 9 attempts.
And this one is in. Same idea. Cross court.
A little bit unorthodox, very hard to read that shot, but a good one right on the sideline.
Here's Thomas. Thomas and Jamie Adams got up and addressed the Lady Bear basketball crowd here the other night to encourage them to come out and watch, and the fans have responded.
Absolutely. A good swing by Sarah Thomas there on the slide attack.
Good serve. Ponzo for Thomas. She's getting a lot more involved now. Adams blocked. Got to get it up. That's miss hit.
Wow, both teams working so hard on the coverage, and then a free ball over the net is the error. That's just hard to take.
These teams hooked up 3 weeks ago in Omaha, and Missouri State won 3-0. Two of the games very competitive. It was like 31-29.
Very close contest.
And that was why it was such a surprise that it was a sweep between these two teams that are, you would think, very evenly matched.
Absolutely, but you know, your teams adjust as the season goes along. Creighton had their middle blocker go out with a knee injury, so they had to move some players around. The Bears trying different things out. They use a combination of 3 or 4 different people that block in the middle for them. So the Bears very versatile in that category, but sometimes it's good to be able to be that versatile. Sometimes I think you want to have a lot of stability out there and not try to change things around.
Thomas, that's wide. That's Jessica Houts you're talking about, the middle blocker who is out for the year with an ACL injury that she suffered September 11th at Drake. Fortunately for her, it was in her last game that would still make it possible to redshirt. And she's going to get a medical redshirt. She's a junior, so she's still going to have 2 more years.
That's right.
Sarah Staubach gets the winner. Still a 7-point difference, though.
Triple block against Sarah on the outside, and she hits it a little bit off speed, and the block just brings it down in front between them and the net. So point to the Bears. Still trail by 7. That slow start that they had is, it's kind of haunting them here right now.
Yeah, it was 7-2 at the start. Now 26-20.
More or less played with Creighton since that time, but they have to be able to run some points. Bears trying to gain a little momentum at least going into game 2.
Thomas from the back. Staubach. And Elke back row attack. And that turns into a winner for the Blue Jays, who are 3 points from a win in game 1.
Bears have not been able to handle Elke tonight. She's been major difference. Good pass by Hackman.
Yeah.
And Hackman gets the ball right back, which you don't see happen very often, where you pass the ball and then you run an up-speed tempo on the next hit. Good dig by Hackman again.
And again, it is Staubach up front, but that's Blemke again, who has been so tough there in the center.
Blemke against Patrick. Patrick has to penetrate the net a little bit more. Take advantage of reading the play correctly and get over there and seal it off.
The back set for Elke. Bears get it over. But it's still a Creighton point with Blemke again, and now it is game point for the Blue Jays.
Patrick did a good job trying to get back there after that broken play. Good hustle play by the Bears.
Substitution for a momentum break for Melissa Stokes.
Bethany Fuller back in, or comes in for the first time tonight.
The tallest volleyball Bear at 6'3". Here is Fuller, but it is, well, at least staved off for now.
They went right to Bethany. It's tough coming in, having not played this whole first set, and she comes in and gets the swing.
Trying to hold off game point, Missouri State. Fuller blocked, and Creighton takes game one, 30-22. And we'll have game two coming up. Creighton out to the 1-0 lead. Mediacom Connections Channel 14 brings you new shows, big games, and exciting events each month. And now you have access to an easy-to-use program schedule and great information about everything happening on Mediacom Connections Channel 14. Just go to MediacomConnectionsChannel.com for all this information and more. If you don't want to miss another great local program, or if you're just getting ready for the next big game, point your browser to MediacomConnectionsChannel.com.
For 40 years, the #1 name in sports in the Ozarks has been Harbell. Since 1967, Harbell has been where teams and players turn when it's time to get ready for the big game. Featuring top-quality, nationally known products to their customers, no one knows the needs of the local athlete like Harbell. From providing team uniforms and sports equipment to customer service second to none, Harbell Athletic Goods has dedicated themselves to being the company people can depend on. Celebrating 40 years of serving the needs of the Ozark sports community, Harbell Athletic Goods in downtown Springfield.
Where can you find the best deal online? Your MidwestFordDealers.com. Friendly Ford, Springfield. Sellers Sexton, St. Robert. Hubert's Ford, Urbana. Maples Ford, Warsaw. Moreland Shell Ford, West Plains. Get the best deal online from your MidwestFordDealers.com.
Bears football is back, and you can catch replays of all 6 Missouri State home games throughout the season on your exclusive television home of Missouri State Bears football, Mediacom Connections Channel 14. Set for game 2, Creighton having won the first game 30-22 over Missouri State. Traditionally, the last 3 years or so we've been doing volleyball matches, Linda. This team has been very good in front of our cameras.
It's not over yet, Don. You know, the Bears are playing better than they were at the very beginning. Like you said, they were down 7-2, and then really pretty much played with Creighton the rest of the way through. But, you know, there's a lot of volleyball left to be played. Bears getting out-hit, out-blocked. They have too many reception errors with 4 reception errors to 0 for Creighton. So that's 4 free points giving right there.
Allie Elke leading the way with 6 kills for Creighton. Staubach with 5 for the Bears.
Right. Jamie Adams has to contribute a little bit more. She is now hitting a positive, but she's had 19 swings. That's 11 more than anybody else on the Bears team. So her productivity has to improve a little bit, but a lot of that has to do with the passing. You have to have good passing. If you don't have a good pass, it's very predictable that Jamie's going to get the ball. And so Creighton will have 2 blockers, sometimes even 3 blockers against her. So you have to take that into consideration as well.
The first 1,000 fans tonight received a Nestle Crunch Bar for Crunch Creighton night here at Hammond Center.
Well, let's hope that that's the case. Good eye by Sarah Thomas, letting that serve go out. Creighton's been serving very well tonight, as we mentioned, with 4 aces already.
And Linda, a lot of other things going on. A volleyball camper reunion is taking place here this weekend as well. There's a short serve from Thomas. to give the serve back to Creighton 1-1.
The Bears trying to get off to a good start here in game 2, but missing that serve isn't very helpful at this point. Bears need to come back here with a good play.
Hackman will get the win. It knocks out the water bottle over on the scores table.
Kara Hackman, a freshman, coming in, playing almost the entire season, I believe, and doing a great job. She has great court presence and is going to be a main contributor the rest of the time that she's on the team.
That is long and no touch. Bears serve and Missouri State out to a 3-1 lead. The Bears match at Wichita State was seen by over 6,000 fans at the Koch Arena. They have gone volleyball crazy there.
Yes, they have.
Adams.
I don't know what they do to get their fans there, but
they win.
They don't have football. They don't have soccer in the fall, so who knows? There's Jamie Adams with a good block.
And Wichita, the only conference team to beat the Bears so far. Adams rejected. Go right back to her.
Good pass by Hackman. Back to Adams.
Well over 20 swings now, and she picks up another kill.
Here are the Bears running off. A lot of points here early on. Here's Adams again on the outside. She's just a workhorse out there. She's going to have a ton of swings tonight. Here's the ball blocked by Ponzo and Patrick in front of them. Just kind of dribbles down in front. You have to penetrate for that not to happen, and timing-wise is key. They were up maybe just a tad too early.
Joust. Ponzo keeps it up, and Adams gets it in.
Adams had the option of either setting that ball or taking a swing, and that time she was one-on-one, so she says, hey, I'm going to take advantage and put it away.
Now she goes to serve. The Liberty High School product.
Patrick gets blocked again. Staubach, big block by Creighton.
Yeah.
Straight down. No options there. Patrick sometimes has to run behind Ponzo to open up the Creighton defense. Otherwise, they're anticipating that ball going to the outside.
Patrick couldn't get it above the net. Another thing that happened in that Wichita State match was the red shirt came off of freshman Joanna Granzo for Missouri State, the Kickapoo High School player.
That's right. I think they wanted to redshirt her, but with Staubach's injury and Addie Foley was injured, they were just trying to get somebody out there that was healthy that could take some swings on the ball.
Addie Foley's had an ankle sprain. Ponzo in September had that ankle sprain and missed a little bit of time, at least at being 100%.
And here comes Creighton with a little bit of a run.
Yeah,
they tie it up.
Now.
Bears had that 5-point lead, and it's gone already.
The 5-1 start for Missouri State, and now a 5-1 run for Creighton.
Patrick once again. Good dig by Hackman.
Go to Foley. Addie Foley coming in.
The Bears really need Addie Foley to get healthy again, so they have that luxury of having a sub on the bench that can come in and take a few swings.
She is a sophomore from Las Vegas.
Coach is taking her back out probably for blocking reasons here, and just because Addie's probably not at 100% just yet.
Wow. Right off the shoulder on the back row.
And that counts. You
That
play
was
the
Hackman.
ball. Play the ball with any part of your body now, so you can even kick it. As long as you don't carry the ball.
I'd like to see that.
It happens once in a while. Mostly unintentionally, but sometimes on purpose.
That never got above the net for Van de Populier.
That's not a good play for the Bears. Creighton takes their first lead.
Now back to 8-8.
Creighton serving very aggressively. They're taking chances on that to try to get the Bears out of system again, because the Creighton block has been doing a nice job. Creighton now with 4 blocks. Bears hitting 0, Creighton hitting just 111.
Creighton point, 9-8 for the Blue Jays. Nebraska, of course, is a volleyball crazy state, with the University of Nebraska selling out their arena every time they take the court. And they are ranked second in the country right now with a 22-1 record.
That's right.
Some interesting things have been happening at the top of the national polls. You look at this one again, now 9-9. The back set for Blemke and Adams. Back set again, and it's Elke down the line, and that is wide and out of bounds.
Elke trying to hit it off the block if possible, but she missed the hands of Adams. Bears back to a 1-point lead.
Penn State is the #1 team in the country right now with a 22-2 record, but a loss to Nebraska. Their other loss to Stanford.
It'll be an interesting national race.
In the corner, wow, well hit.
Just a well-played shot, not with a lot of authority, but right there where
they weren't.
where they weren't.
10-10 now. Nebraska is ranked second. They're 22-1. Their only loss was to Texas. They split with Texas in the Big 12.
You get in your conference races, just like in the Missouri Valley, anything can happen. Some of the top seeds or the top teams may lose a match or two just because you know each other so well. But I was watching the Penn State play Purdue on TV the other day, and
saw a little bit of that myself.
Penn State and Coach Russ Rose doing a really nice job. Russ has been there for quite a long time.
12-10 Blue Jay lead now in game 2. Texas is 19-3. They have lost twice to Penn State. In fact, they did it in back-to-back matches in August. Played them twice.
It's a big block against Sarah Thomas. Sarah's been one of our go-to players.
We'll get timeout. 13-10. The lead now for Creighton in game 2.
We went around swapping people's vehicles for 1 week. We didn't tell them we were from Ford. We told them it was market research.
My name's Deion McKinney, and I'm going to be swapping for the Ford Mustang GT convertible. You feel that rumble of the engine? It's kind of like, woo! Got the hey, look at me kind of feel to it. Got some serious pickup. By the time you want to be in that lane, you're already in it. It puts a smile on my face.
Swap your ride with the legendary Mustang GT and get up to $2,500 cash back. Visit your local Ford dealer or go to yourmidwestforddealers.com.
Along with Linda Dollar, I'm Don West at Hammond Student Center. Creighton won the first game 30-22 over Missouri State. They lead in game 2 13-10.
The Creighton block doing a number right now. They already have 4 blocks in this game. They only had 3 blocks in the whole first set. So Creighton just doing a number on the Bears hitters right now. Bears have to pass better. I know I've said that before, but they have to open up the Creighton block and try to get a one-on-one situation.
There's a winner for Jamie Adams. And am I reading the stat view right here, Linda? 7 blocks to 1 for the match now.
That's right.
In favor of the Blue Jays.
So the Blue Jays have 4 blocks, no blocks yet for the Bears.
Sarah Thomas. That's a different looking serve for her.
Little jump floater. She's been using that for a while.
For some reason, it looks a little different than it has the times that I've seen her this year.
Both times that she's been here in front of us, she's been trying to serve short. So she may have just altered something there briefly. Bethany Fuller subs back out. Kara Hackman comes in.
Shayla Patrick up front. Adams. Creighton has defended her very well. That will be out. 15-11.
Little miscommunication between Del Conte and Shayla Patrick gives Creighton a free point on the air.
And the service error. Linda, you and I haven't worked together on volleyball here since that date in August that we did 2 matches and saw that great Sacramento State match that
Absolutely.
went 5 games. I want to say Lady Bears. The volleyball Bears lost the first 2 and then won the next 3 to win that one.
Right, that was a long one, wasn't it?
How long? Yeah, it was a while ago. But how far can a match like that take a team when it comes to at-large selection time, if it comes to that?
Well, a lot of it depends on how good is Sacramento State.
They've been pretty good.
And I've been gone for a while, so I don't really know what's happened as much as I should know right at this point. But I mean, this is an important match for the Bears because they have national ranking. They've received some votes in the top 25 poll.
As high as about the 29th best total, I believe.
Right.
And Wichita State got into the top 25.
That's right.
At
so
number 25.
Losing to Creighton, where Creighton doesn't have as high an RPI and so on, will hurt the Bears. So, as we mentioned, this is pretty important, and Creighton is very important for Creighton as well. Now there's a solid block for the Bears, straight down.
With a little emotion, maybe that's what the Bears need to get them kick-started here in this match.
Sarah Staubach.
And then you give the serve right back.
The Bears just cannot seem to run things together. They get a good play like that, then they serve it out.
This is Carolyn Decker. Long cross-court set for Staubach, and that is out.
Just completely mishit that ball. Now Creighton up by 5 again.
When you get around the 20-point mark, a 5-point lead is pretty large.
It is. The later you go, the
Back
bigger
to 4.
it is. Yeah. So the Bears have to string points together, which means they have to score on their serve, and they haven't been doing a whole lot of that. At least not since the very beginning of the second set, where they had a 6-1 lead.
Nikki Van de Populier lets it fly. Right up front there again is Kelly Gock.
Thomas and Ponzo there, but Gock finds the seam of the block.
Now she serves and will continue to serve.
They seem to be going after our freshman, Kara Hackman. Kara having a little rough time here on serve receive.
Boy, Missouri State is 25-3 all time against Creighton. One of those teams that they have absolutely dominated in the conference. Bears have won 19 in a row, and they're 12-1 here at Hammonds, all time against Creighton. The last Creighton win in the series, 1998 in Omaha.
Right through the seam of the block again. The Bears kind of fading towards the pin or towards the antenna. And Blumke finding the seam.
Server is Corey Lebeda, junior hometown player from Omaha.
This match features two of the better setters in the conference with Lebeda and Ponzo.
Well, that was like a slam dunk that time for Blumke. And timeout called as Melissa Stokes doesn't want to see this one slip away. 23-16 Blue Jays in game number 2.
Founded in 1985, the Gateway Football Conference has produced national champions, national players of the year, coaches of the year, #1 national rankings, and countless All-Americans. The Gateway stands alone as the only conference to have each of its schools make the FCS playoffs. Committed to the highest ideals of integrity and sportsmanship, the Gateway Conference is Illinois State, Indiana State, Missouri State, Northern Iowa, Southern Illinois, Western Illinois, and Youngstown State.
Well, game number 2 now tilted the way of the Creighton Blue Jays, 23-16 leaders, and Creighton leading 1-0. But Linda, you look at the numbers right now, the teams are even in kills at 23 apiece, but the difference is in errors. Missouri State, 18 errors to Creighton 6.
Way too many. Bears have 10 hitting errors in this game alone. Creighton with just 3 hitting errors. As we mentioned, things are just not clicking for the Bears. Their passing game is totally off, and they have to rectify that right away. Here's another pass off the net, so it becomes very predictable. A triple block for Creighton.
And the winner for Blemke.
They're just eating up the Bears block.
The 6th kill for Lauren Blemke. She's hitting .600. And then you get the service error that you see all too often from Katie Mihal.
But, you know, they have a 7-point lead or an 8-point lead before that, and they can afford to serve aggressively. And the Bears capitalize here.
Thomas, the short hit. Cross for Jamie Adams, and that'll get the Bears a much-needed point. Still a Creighton 24-18 lead with Terry Del Conte, the libero, serving for Missouri State, the junior from Long Beach, California. Elke, the freshman, comes up with another one.
You know, the Bears are one of the top blocking teams in the conference, and they are just really struggling here tonight with only 2 blocks.
And Elke now with 8 kills.
Good save by Del Conte.
Ponzo has to give up a free ball, and that turns into a Bears point.
Well, the Bears have to get things started or restarted right now if they're going to have a chance to pull this second game out. Let's see if Thomas can get it going with a good serve.
Bears 6 down, and Creighton needs only 5 to close it out, but now Missouri State makes it 25-20.
Good block by Shayla Patrick. And she's a redshirt freshman. Didn't really play a whole lot of high school volleyball, so she's kind of learning as she's going.
Here's Decker a second time. Carolyn Decker. She's there again. Over from an elbow by Kara Hackman. Del Conte going down for the save. Decker. Nope.
Good pursuit by the Bears. Some good defense. Forces Creighton into taking a timeout. Bears are up 25-21.
And we'll see if Missouri State can catch them when we come back.
For 40 years, the #1 name in sports in the Ozarks has been Harbell. Since 1967, Harbell has been where teams and players turn when it's time to get ready for the big game. Featuring top-quality, nationally known products to their customers, no one knows the needs of the local athlete like Harbell. From providing team uniforms and sports equipment to customer service second to none, Harbell Athletic Goods has dedicated themselves to being the company people can depend on. Celebrating 40 years of serving the needs of the Ozark sports community, Harbell Athletic Goods in downtown Springfield.
Well, game 2 in the hands of Creighton for now, but Missouri State coming back. And Kirsten Bernthal Booth calling the timeout. Try to keep her team on top of things here as they try to close out what would be a 2-game advantage if Creighton can pull this one out.
Bears got a nice block by Patrick and then a couple good defensive efforts. Got the Bears to within 4.
Sarah Thomas with a serve for Missouri State. There's a rejection, and Shayla Patrick and Kara Hackman get it done up front.
Bears with a double block that time, read the play.
A 3-point difference now. Across to Jamie Adams. And a double hit will make it a 2-point game here in game 2.
Bears seem to have better secondary type setters than Creighton right now. They've been called a couple times on that when the setter was unable to handle the second ball.
Jamie Adams already has 10 kills. She's taken 33 swings at it now. Back set for Hackman, and that will be out, and the Bears get it to 1.
Bears need this. Another timeout by Creighton.
Their last of game number 2, with Missouri State since the timeout having gone on a 3-0 run to make it 25-24. Air times on this match on Mediacom Connections Channel 14, Saturday afternoon at 1 and Sunday morning at 9:30. We also have coverage of Missouri State football coming your way this weekend. The final football game of the season against Southeast Missouri State. And next week we're back into the high school football playoffs with Mount Vernon hosting top-ranked and unbeaten Harrisonville. The team that hasn't lost in nearly 3 years will be coming to Mountaineer Stadium on Monday night for the state quarterfinals in Class 3.
Wow. Well, let's see if we can't get the crowd going. The Bears
I think they are.
Been trailing so much that it's put a little damper on the crowd, but if the Bears can get a little bit of a lead, I think the crowd will get right back into it.
Boy, the kids behind us have signs made for everybody, all the Missouri State players. They've come to play tonight. There's going to be volleyball royalty here, we're told, at halftime tonight. Lori Endicott Vandersnick, and we're going to try to catch up with her as a halftime guest. She's going to be running some of the events, but for now, Missouri State has caught Creighton in game 2.
Good swing by Jamie Adams on the outside, off the block, and it goes out. Let's see if the Bears can get back into the lead.
Decker blocked. Elke down the line and out. And the Bears take the lead by 1.
Bears were fortunate that she didn't try to go cross court as Patrick was late. But the Bears come away with the point.
Elke, the dig for Ponzo. Adams with the cross-court hit. The tip. Bears keep it in the air from the back. It's Thomas. And into the net. What a run.
Schulze with the air out of the back row. Thomas is the one that set it up as she cranked out of the back row and forced Creighton out of their offense. Bears now have a chance to win this game 2.
Adams. Here comes another one for Adams, and that is touched. And a point to make it 28-25.
It did look like there was a touch. Creighton people didn't like it, but looked like the ball changed direction, at least from this perspective. I think that was a good call.
That's at least a 7-0 run with Thomas serving here now. Overpass, and Adams makes him pay. Still in the air, though. Hackman. And Elke gets it off of Adams to end the run and get Creighton back to 2.
Bears really had a good opportunity to get another point, but Creighton's persistence off of that tip ball, they hit it into the net and just kept playing.
Hackman gets it, and game point for the Bears.
Good swing by the freshman on the outside. Plays like a veteran.
So Kara Hackman will serve for the game here in game 2 for Missouri State. The overpass, Decker gets blocked. She'll go back to Elke, and that's rejected by Patrick and Adams, and Missouri State ties the match at 1 game apiece going in.
What a good play by the Bears to finish game 2. That momentum all on the Bears side right now.
30-26 in game 2, and the teams go into halftime tied 1-1. Mediacom Connections Channel 14 brings you new shows, big games, and exciting events each month. And now you have access to an easy-to-use program schedule and great information about everything happening on Mediacom Connections Channel 14. Just go to MediacomConnectionsChannel.com for all this information and more. If you don't want to miss another great local program, or if you're just getting ready for the next big game, point your browser to MediacomConnectionsChannel.com.
From town to town, nothing outperforms the big Ford F-150. Check it out during Ford Truck Month. F-150 has the most towing and payload in its class.
Hard as these trucks work, I can see why they're number 1.
Now get 0% financing with $1,000 cash back, or get up to $4,500 cash back on F-150. Roll into Truck Month, going on now at your local Ford dealer.
For 40 years, the #1 name in sports in the Ozarks has been Harbell. Since 1967, Harbell has been where teams and players turn when it's time to get ready for the big game. Featuring top-quality, nationally known products to their customers, no one knows the needs of the local athlete like Harbell. From providing team uniforms and sports equipment to customer service second to none, Harbell Athletic Goods has dedicated themselves to being the company people can depend on. Celebrating 40 years of serving the needs of the Ozark sports community, Harbell Athletic Goods in downtown Springfield.
Well, this match is tied 1 game apiece, with the teams talking about it in the locker room and the younger players out there taking center stage now here at Hammond Student Center. Linda Dollar, the Bears fought back and came from 5-6 point down in game 2 and run off a huge string with Sarah Thomas serving and come away with a very important game 2 win to tie it up.
It was kind of a seesaw game because the Bears had a 6-1 lead. Lost the lead. They were down by 5 at midway, and then they come surging back with their block at the end.
Yeah.
We were talking about they didn't have any blocks yet in game 2, and then they finished with 4 blocks near the second half of that set. And so a good win for them. Takes a lot of momentum into the locker room here.
Kind of what we've been looking for with Creighton very block oriented, and Missouri State pulling out some stuff there at the end to tie it up. Let's take a look at highlights from the first 2 games here. Creighton won the first game 30-22, and Missouri State took game 2 30-26, and this is a game 2 we're looking at here.
Well, Sarah Thomas really strung a lot of serves together for the Bears. Some of it was good serving, some of it Jamie Adams on the outside. And how many attempts does she have now?
In the 30s, 38.
38 attempts. Is she tired yet? No, she can't be tired. But coach moved her to that L1 position, meaning she's up there twice with Caitlin Ponzo, and that means she's going to get a lot of balls on the outside. Normally, Sarah Staubach is out there, but because of her injury, they're trying to give her a shot at staying out there by by not playing her, not having her jump quite as many times. But a good job by the Bears coming back in game 2.
Shayla Patrick there, you saw there at the end of that too. She was tough on the front row.
Absolutely.
Let's take a look at the Missouri Valley Conference standings, and maybe this will kind of bring into shape everything we've been telling you, with Wichita State at 13-1, Missouri State 12-2, Creighton 12-3, Northern Iowa 11-3, all right there at the top, in the top 4 anyway. Then Illinois State pretty much locked into 5th place, and SIU and Evansville fighting for that 6th conference tournament bid.
That's right, and the thing is that Wichita State and the Bears are the 2 teams that Creighton has to play this weekend. So a tough assignment for Creighton coming in here, but you know, they have to look forward to it. I mean, this is great volleyball for all the teams involved here. So if Creighton can pull this one out, they'll have a lot of momentum going into the Wichita State match tomorrow.
Well, and at least for this year, the Missouri State-Wichita State swing is the toughest in the conference. You can say that. There's some more...
Jody
we
Adams.
can call her royalty, can't we?
Sure we can.
In the crowd tonight, Jody Adams right there. And there's Lori Endicott Vandersnick that she was saying hi to there.
Maybe
and,
I can explain what they're doing out here.
Well, yeah, and we need you to, I think.
Okay.
Has to do with the Missouri, Show Me Winter Games?
No, not tonight.
Okay, not tonight.
This is the Community Olympic Development Program. These are the volleyball kids that have been participating in our program all summer. Lori Endicott Vandersnick is our head coach. We're part of a program involved with the U.S. Olympic Committee. We also have ice hockey, weightlifting, and tennis, along with our volleyball program.
Lori, an Olympian, of course, and an All-American at the University of Nebraska, and from Willard, Missouri, and a member of the Springfield Area Sports Hall of Fame.
That's right, but she is the head coach of our Community Olympic Development Program. And these young kids are in grades 5 through 8, and they train for 13 weeks in the summer.
And she gestured to us that she'd love to talk to us, but she can't talk tonight. So we are sorry about that, but it's always great to have her, one of the all-time great volleyball players in America, Lori Endicott Vandersnick. We will take a break, and we'll be ready for Game 3. Creighton and Missouri State tied 1 game apiece.
Town to town, nothing outperforms the big Ford F-150. Check it out during Ford Truck Month. F-150 has the most towing and payload in its class.
Hard as these trucks work, I can see why they're number 1.
Now get 0% financing with $1,000 cash back, or get up to $4,500 cash back on F-150. Roll into Truck Month, going on now at your local Ford dealer.
It's built in the Midwest for the Midwest. With a flex fuel-capable 300-horse Triton V8 for best-in-class payload and towing. With 18-inch chrome wheels, chrome running boards, a chrome grille, and a leather-wrapped steering wheel. The Ford F-150 Midwest Limited Edition. Classy looks, best-in-class capability. Get it now with $2,000 in package discounts. Lease one today for $289 a month. Visit your local Midwest Ford dealer.
Mediacom Connections Channel 14 brings you new shows, big games, and exciting events each month. And now you have access to an easy-to-use program schedule and great information about everything happening on Mediacom Connections Channel 14. Just go to MediacomConnectionsChannel.com for all this information and more. If you don't want to miss another great local program, or if you're just getting ready for the next big game, point your browser to MediacomConnectionsChannel.com.
For 40 years, the #1 name in sports in the Ozarks has been Harbell. Since 1967, Harbell has been where teams and players turn when it's time to get ready for the big game. Featuring top-quality, nationally known products to their customers, no one knows the needs of the local athlete like Harbell. From providing team uniforms and sports equipment to customer service second to none, Harbell Athletic Goods has dedicated themselves to being the company people can depend on. Celebrating 40 years of serving the needs of the Ozark sports community, Harbell Athletic Goods in downtown Springfield.
Don West and Linda Dollar with you at Hammond Student Center, and a big crowd of Missouri State volleyball fans on hand here tonight. Creighton and the Bears tied 1 game apiece as we head for game 3.
Well, this is going to be real interesting, I think, at least the initial part of game 3 to see how Creighton responds.
Air times 1 o'clock Saturday, Sunday morning at 9:30 on Mediacom Connections Channel 14. Linda, you were noticing on the stat sheet for only game 2 that while Missouri State had its errors early, Creighton ended up making errors late, and they ended up with 10 errors apiece in game 2.
Yes, they did, and Jamie Adams doubled her offensive output with 8 kills. She had 19 attempts in game 2 alone. Elke for Creighton had 18 attempts, so those outside hitters really have a lot of work in front of them.
And Adams ended up with 12 kills, but just a .211 hitting percentage because of all the swings, 38 total swings with 4 errors.
But she hit
Hello.
.368 in game 2.
Can you hear me? We get set to start game 3, and Missouri State will see if it can carry the momentum from game 2.
Looks like the Bears changed liberos.
Vanda Popular's got the maroon jersey on now. You're right. Is that something you can do game to game?
Yes.
Or? Okay.
Yes, you can.
As many times as you want.
That's why they wear a different color jersey, so you know exactly who the libero is.
And she will serve Vanda Popular, the new libero. And Creighton gets the first point of game 3. Oh, the overpass, and Elke makes him pay.
Vanda Popular, the libero we just talked about, she's out there for one reason, and that's defense and serve receive.
Too much. The Bears will get the serve back.
Shayla Patrick returns for the Bears, play middle.
Creighton's libero, Bianca Rivera, returning. She'll get the dig here, and here is Decker getting it across for Creighton. The back set for Hackman, and that is a winner for Missouri State to make it 2-2.
Not a hard swing, but she hit it off the top of the hands of the block and found the deep corner. Sarah Thomas is the one that served a number of points for us at the end of game 2. She's back there serving again for the Bears.
Good one for Decker. That played right into her.
Those overpasses, you just kind of lick your lips. You just can't wait to go up and take a big swing.
And that's exactly what Decker did. Cross to Adams.
Adams tries to get a little tricky.
Good dig off of the swing from Decker again, and this one's in the net. Creighton makes it 4-2.
Creighton on a little bit of a run. Patrick getting stuck at the net a couple times where she's been taken out of the offense, and we've got to get her jumping in the middle. Try to hold Gach. There's a dump by Lebeda. She hasn't done that, I don't think, all night. The one-handed dump. As she's on the front row, she's an eligible attacker in this 5-1 offense.
Adams Base hit is dug out and back across by Kelly Gock. We haven't talked about her as much as I thought we might tonight. That's her 6th kill. Elke leading the way with 10, and we have timeout in game 3 with Creighton leading 6-2.
Where can you find the best deal online? Your MidwestFordDealers.com. Friendly Ford, Springfield. Sellers Sexton, St. Robert. Hubert's Ford, Urbana. Maples Ford, Warsaw. Moreland Shell Ford, West Plains. Get the best deal online from your MidwestFordDealers.com.
Tani Valerio there in the house tonight. The Missouri State Lady Bears will open their season Sunday at Texas, 22nd ranked in the country. And the new basketball season will be underway. This is not an official serve. It was blown dead by Mr. Marty Procco up on the tower.
They're starting to hear whistles. There we go.
Shayla Patrick, you told me during the break, you got to get Patrick more involved again. I'm not making that up either.
That's right.
But a lot of the momentum from game 2 went away pretty quick with the Creighton 6-2 lead, and thus the early timeout from Melissa Stokes.
Bears once again giving up the side out, not able to score off the serve.
Carolyn Decker serving, a member of the Valley All-Freshman team in 04. She's a junior now. Elke from the back. Ponzo sets up Adams again. 3 blockers there for that time, but the Bears get the point.
You see, when Ponzo's on the net and she's setting and she's off the net, then you don't have to worry about blocking her. And if Patrick doesn't come in fast enough to hold that middle blocker, then all 3 blockers shift over to the left side to block Adams. Good save by Lebeda.
That is out on the hit from Sarah Schulze. She has not had a very good evening yet with a negative hitting percentage.
Say yet?
Yeah. That's Staubach.
Staubach with the kill on the left side.
Her 7th of the night. Second behind Jamie Adams with 13 kills, now with 43 total swings.
Staubach has had a couple nights with 20 or more kills.
Another one. Number 8.
She kind of wristed that one over. Cut it back to her right side and hit off speed enough that it just landed right in front of the little barrel.
7-7 after Missouri State fell behind 6-2 at the start. Here in game 3, we're tied 1-1 in games.
Good swing by Gock. Kelly Gock hitting a modest .313.
Player of the Year candidate for Creighton in the conference anyway. Came in with a .358 hitting average, second in the Valley. The Bears pick up another one. Game 3 staying close now at 8-8.
Del Conte back to serve for the Bears. See if we can string a few points together here.
Net serve in play. Boy, that's right back over. Staubach's attack block. Thomas coming the other way. And a net violation on Creighton.
Good play by Ponzo at the net. She goes from one side to the other so quickly and so smoothly, you don't really notice her.
Senior transfer from South Carolina. 2 years as the starting setter there. Now 2 good years at Missouri State.
Good play by Vanda Populaire on the dig. Lebeda trying to be more involved with the offense.
Good save, Del Conte. Off the hit from Blumke. Blumke again in the middle, and that is...
Call the Bears in the net. Point goes to Creighton.
I believe they got a touch and the ball inbounds anyway.
Good rally by both teams.
So we've been tied at 7, 8, and 9 now here in game 3. And Corey Lebeda serves for Creighton. That never got above the net, and you got that 3-blocker set up there again.
Not a good pass, and so it becomes very predictable, as we mentioned before. Triple block. Kara Hackman hitting out of the back row, but it never really cleared the top of the tape anyway.
That's a Blue Jay in the net.
Fortunately for the Bears, as that ball was hit wide. Bears out of system again. They've got to get their passing. Back up to Ponzo at the net.
Ponzo serving now.
I understand Ponzo had, was it 5, 6, or 7 aces at Wichita State last weekend?
There's a great block.
Triple block by the Bears.
Thomas right there in the middle of it.
On this replay, you'll see all 3 pinch in. Outside blockers read that very well and just closed in on the middle blocker.
Bears are a great serving team, leading the conference in aces, and Ponzo is as good as there is.
Tight set.
Yep, too much.
Staubach couldn't quite get there. Hackman trying to make a perfect set and off the bump set, and she just needs to not be so precise. Keep it off the net just a little bit.
Carolyn Decker back in on the front row now for Creighton. They'll come at her. Now Decker will take the tip. Cross to Staubach and in.
Good shot by Sarah Staubach. With authority, puts this shot away. Against 2 big blockers, finds the opening. It's good to see her taking some good, healthy swings out there.
Decker off a high set. Ponzo back sets for Hackman, and Decker blocks it along with Blumke. So
like
game 3, Linda, has been tied at 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and now 12.
I'm glad you're keeping track.
Adams rejection.
Now we've got Hackman in the middle. We've seen big stuff block on Adams there, but Adams, Thomas, and Hackman all can play middle. So they may run something different here. Nope, out to Adams, and she puts it away. Good job by the Bears off the good pass. You had all 3 options in place, and that opens up that block.
Sarah Thomas serving now. She was serving when the Bears went on their big run in game 2 to end up winning to tie the match. Not this time.
Kelly Gock, how did you hit that ball? That was a great swing. Got to get up there early if you're running that middle attack. And I say early, before the ball's actually set, you have to be up there.
Overpass, and there's Decker to make him pay.
Looked like such an easy play, and just trying to get it right up to that setter, just gets it over too far. Creighton with a little bit of a run here.
Yeah, 15-13 now after all the ties at 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. And now Missouri State with one more can get it even at 15.
We're really talking to Schulze on the back row. She seems like she's the youngest player in terms of experience. One-handed save by Thomas. Here comes Creighton.
Decker. And Ponzo the set for Adams. Elke on the back row to get it for the Blue Jays. Tips everywhere, and Gott gets it down.
Just tipped it right over the fingertips of Shayla Patrick. What a tough shot to try to defend. With Lebeda up on the front row, you can challenge her because she's not as tall as the others. But Elke read that play very well as Adams tried to tip it over the block and over Elke had she been playing up behind the block, but it didn't work. Triple.
Right there.
Too predictable. This is the rotation that the Bears have to get out of. They've got Adams and Patrick up there with Ponzo, but they've got Hackman and Thomas who can hit out of the back row.
See what Ponzo does with it. It's Patrick this time, and she hits it long from the center.
So 2 hitting errors and a timeout by the Bears. Tries to slow this down.
Creighton makes it 18-14 here in game 3 to get some momentum, trying to go up 2-1. Bears football is back, and you can catch replays of all 6 Missouri State home games throughout the season on your exclusive television home of Missouri State Bears football, Mediacom Connections Channel 14. 18-14 Creighton in game 3. You saw that Missouri State football spot there in that break, with the last football game of the year coming tomorrow, Saturday at 1 o'clock at Plaster Sports Complex against Southeast Missouri State. Terry Allen is here, or at least he was. He was over where the band normally sets up earlier. Don't see him now. But making an appearance, there is another Missouri State basketball player there behind Carolyn Decker, Melissa Busby.
You know, the athletes do come out and support one another. It's
really
good
do
to see that.
Adams gets one right in the center.
You think maybe they talked about that during the timeout? Maybe so. Good shot by Jamie. Staubach comes back in on the left side for the Bears as Adams goes back to serve.
We're right here now, 18-15 for Creighton with Adams on the serve. Boy, what a quick shoot set that was.
Triple again against Adams.
Wow.
Or Staubach, I mean.
And it's Schulze, who hadn't had much to write home about tonight, but comes up with this kill.
Right through Ponzo and Patrick. They're back to that 4-point lead. Bears need to shut them down.
Just the second kill for Schulze. Staubach's hit kept in the air. Schulze again. And Staubach again. That'll be way out. The Bears pick up the point.
Lebeda very athletic in that setter's role for Creighton. Almost saves another ball. Bears down by 3.
The last tie was at 13 before Creighton stretched it out a little bit with 2 straight, and then that is in. That is an ace that was let go by the Blue Jays.
5 out of foot, huh?
Even less than that. Del Conte on the serve.
A lot of top spin on her serve. Del Conte's been a very good addition to the squad.
Overpass. Pay the price. Timeout for Creighton now. With Creighton up 19-18, but the timeout for Kirsten Bernthal Booth.
On this tight pass, Lebeda tries to get a hand on it, but too much of it's over the net, and Thomas and Adams put the ball away. But Creighton took a very quick timeout here before the Bears had a chance to take the lead, perhaps, and Try to slow the Bears down just a bit.
Missouri State volleyball's biggest cheerleader right there, Fuzzy Wilkerson, and the Bearzuka. And our broadcast partner from the last match we covered, Leslie Callison on PA tonight. She did a great job in your absence with your, we went to Australia for what, 6 weeks, Linda? What was that about? Leslie, little fun?
Little fun. Went with some friends that were into birding.
I see. Leslie is going to join us on a couple of girls' high school basketball games this season, so it's great to get her involved, and she's also a part of Evangel University's radio package now in women's basketball with Ed Beach.
She's doing a great job. Let's see if we can't tie this game up.
El Conte with a good serve. And the Bears do get it even at 19.
Big block for the Bears. Staubach and Thomas.
Schulze, that is touched and in.
Line judges seem to be on top of it tonight, don't they?
And they're usually local guys that come in and do the lines.
I think so. Good block by Ponzo.
Elke, we haven't heard much from her in game 3. She gets one here.
Back through the block of the Bears. Somehow it seeped right between them.
Corey Lebeda. And it is Staubach in the corner.
What a great shot by Sarah Staubach against the triple block again.
Look where she has come from. 14 kills now for Staubach. She's hitting .370.
Stayed off the net very nicely for that deep set. Kind of opens up the court for her. Elke. Or that Schulze, pardon me.
Elke on the other end of it here at the end of the rally. The Bears get it to make it 21.
Off of Elke's hands into the antenna. And if any part of that ball touches the antenna, it's out of bounds.
A lot of the signs the kids have made here tonight, those are looking great. Elke blocked by Hackman. Another point for Missouri State. The Bears get the lead in game 3 at 22-21.
Elke breaking down just a little bit. Such a fine player as a freshman.
She has sure looked like a freshman of the year in this match.
Definitely a candidate.
Staubach.
Good job by Staubach at the net again.
And timeout called. Missouri State coming back to lead 23-21 in game 3. We are tied 1-1 in games.
We went around swapping people's vehicles for 1 week. We didn't tell them we were from Ford. We told them it was market research.
My name's Deion McKinney, and I'm going to be swapping for the Ford Mustang GT convertible. Feel that rumble of the engine. It's kind of like, woo! It's got the, hey, look at me kind of feel to it. Got some serious pickup. By the time you want to be in that lane, you're already in it. It puts a smile on my face.
Swap your ride with the legendary Mustang GT and get up to $2,500 cash back. Visit your local Ford dealer or go to yourmidwestforddealers.com.
Bears lead over Creighton in game 3, 23-21. We are tied 1 game apiece. The race to 5. And Sarah Staubach with, 9 kills here just in this game. Linda, she has come in and made a big difference. And is this a part about what you were saying a while ago? Is this less predictable now with Staubach doing a lot of the work that Adams had on her hands a while ago?
Well, you can see when she's up there, most of the time there are 3 hitters with her. But she's had a number of good swings up there. A lot of times she plays in Jamie Adams. They've just switched positions because of her injury. But I know Melissa has interchanged them many times during the season.
Well, that's a vicious serve from Ponzo. Wow, like to have the radar gun on that one.
It might have sailed out, but
I think it would have.
Couldn't get out of the way in time. Number 7 in for Creighton.
Abby Bowman, senior from North Platte, Nebraska.
Go right at her.
Elke flat-footed gets it over for the Blue Jays. Thomas with Elke there for Creighton. And again, Lauren Blumke has been so tough for the Jays.
Bears had a chance there. Thomas went up and tipped. And that's good when it works. When it doesn't, a lot of times it comes right back at you.
2-point lead for the Bears in game 3. In the center, Hackman into the net.
Triple block.
Oh, there's a Creighton net violation.
Assistant coach is really upset. You got to be careful. He has no right to get up there and talk to the official. That's the head coach's job. Might have been that Hackman hit it into the net and then it hit a Creighton player, because their Creighton players, though, didn't complain too much.
There's a point for the Blue Jays. That was assistant coach Paul Gieselman in his 5th year on the staff at Creighton for head coach Kirsten Bernthal Booth.
You know, sometimes you get a bad call like that and it's just enough to get you riled up to play well.
Gach, that is down for Kelly Gach.
On the second hit rather, Gach, instead of setting, she goes up there and takes a swing. Now, just a 1-point lead for the Bears.
So a fantastic finish coming in game 3. Thomas makes it a 2-point Bears lead.
What a great swing by Sarah Thomas on the slide attack behind Ponzo. And just cuts it back across her body. She was one-on-one. Gach couldn't get over there to block, set up a double block. Will they go to Gach again?
They do go to Gach.
She's their go-to player here at crunch time.
She and Elke both with 11 kills now to lead the way for the Blue Jays. Creighton trying to tie it with this point.
Adams down the line, barely gets it in. What a big play.
Wow. So Jamie Adams is back, kill number 17. Gach off of the slide and a bear in the net.
Tough break for the Bears as they finally dug Gach on the slide attack, but have to give the ball away. The Bears can continue to side out here. They'll win game 3. They can't allow Creighton to score off their serve.
Which is what we have right here, the Creighton serve. Adams gets it blocked. Ponzo will push it over. Gach found a spot. 27 all.
Kelly Gach, honestly, one of the best players in the conference, doing a magnificent job for these Creighton Blue Jays tonight. Now we're on serve.
Adams blocked. Creighton goes up by a point.
They're just not going to Patrick. She's totally out of the offense here. Now if they go to Patrick, you can see Adams here against that double block, very predictable.
Back set for Patrick. And a Blue Jay in the net. That's Schulze.
Boy, there's
so 28 all.
A lot of net calls tonight.
There have.
Two very good teams. You don't see too much of that.
But they mixed it up going to Patrick that time.
Bears need to score here.
Gach blocked by Patrick and Staubach, but Creighton will have the first chance at winning game 3 as they go up 29-28 with game point.
Well, this is what you practice. You practice siding out. So they have Gok off the front row. They go outside Staubach.
Too much. Creighton wins game 3 to go up 2-1. The Blue Jays take down game 3 over Missouri State, 30-28, a 2-1 advantage for Creighton going to game 4.
Founded in 1985, the Gateway Football Conference has produced national champions, national players of the year, coaches of the year, #1 national rankings, and countless All-Americans. The Gateway stands alone as the only conference to have each of its schools make the FCS playoffs. Committed to the highest ideals of integrity and sportsmanship, the Gateway Conference is Illinois State, Indiana State, Missouri State, Northern Iowa, Southern Illinois, Western Illinois, and Youngstown State.
For 40 years, the #1 name in sports in the Ozarks has been Harbell. Since 1967, Harbell has been where teams and players turn when it's time to get ready for the big game. Featuring top-quality, nationally known products to their customers, no one knows the needs of the local athlete like Harbell. From providing team uniforms and sports equipment to customer service second to none, Harbell Athletic Goods has dedicated themselves to being the company people can depend on. Celebrating 40 years of serving the needs of the Ozark sports community, Harbell Athletic Goods in downtown Springfield.
Mediacom Connections Channel 14 brings you new shows, big games, and exciting events each month. And now you have access to an easy-to-use program schedule and great information about everything happening on Mediacom Connections Channel 14. Just go to MediacomConnectionsChannel.com for all this information and more. If you don't want to miss another great local program, or if you're just getting ready for the next big game, point your browser to MediacomConnectionsChannel.com.
From town to town, nothing outperforms the big Ford F-150. Check it out during Ford Truck Month. F-150 has the most towing and payload in its class.
Hard as these trucks work, I can see why they're #1.
Now get 0% financing with $1,000 cash back, or get up to $4,500 cash back on F-150. Roll into Truck Month, going on now at your local Ford dealer.
Missouri State Athletic Director Bill Rowe. Is that Dr. Bruce there with him?
Dr. Bruce Johnson.
Dr. Bruce Johnson.
Faculty athletic rep.
Watching this one as Creighton is up 2-1 now. On our way to the best 3 out of 5. And Kelly Gok was the star of game 3 for the Blue Jays with 8 kills.
But well, there's a good shot by Sarah Staubach, who played well in game 3. But it was all Kelly Gok. After I think we were tied at 24 maybe. It was just all Kelly Gok. And she had no hitting errors in game 3. She pretty much saved the day for him.
8 kills, no errors, and she increased her hitting percentage now to .440 for the night. But Ponzo, with a great serve that she has, we'll see if she can get Missouri State into a possible game 5 here.
It's been a long time since Creighton has beaten the Bears, and the Bears have not lost back-to-back matches in quite a while as well, I believe.
1998, the last time Creighton beat Missouri State in volleyball. We told you the series is 25-3 all-time in favor of the Bears. But Creighton in some measure of control now, up 2-1 as we go to game 4.
See if the Bears can't get off to a good start here.
Staubach. And Creighton gets it out of the net and over. Thomas from the back, and that's down.
A little off-speed shot. Sarah Thomas puts it away.
Nikki Van de Populier still wearing the libero jersey. And the first to serve for the Bears. Made that one look easy.
Schulze with the reception error.
Vanda Popular, a junior. Jamie Adams and Sarah Thomas. Caitlin Ponzo are all seniors for Missouri State. Looking for a memorable run here, the final 4 matches of the regular season counting tonight, and then the conference tournament here on their home floor.
Kelly Gock with the kill. Hackman had a chance to put the ball away. She comes out, and Bethany Fuller steps in.
Thomas blocked, and it's Gock and Decker teaming up to get that one.
Nope, went down on the Creighton side. Point to the Bears.
Gotcha. Yep.
Levitt is on the front row for Creighton, so she might try to dump a ball here if she gets the opportunity. Not when you have Gock up there, though. You go right to her. She gets another kill.
15 kills on the night now for Kelly Gock. And as we told you, 8 just in game 3. Katie Mihal is the server. And Kara Hackman back in for the Bears.
Hackman, one of the primary passers for the Bears. Bethany Fuller, great job on blocking primarily, but she also gets a chance to take some good swings on the right side.
Shayla Patrick trying to mount a personal comeback here in game 4. Short serve. Ponzo finding Adams, and that's a winner from behind the blue line.
I think Jamie had some eyes looking over there. She found that open spot. She was way off the net. Just tried to place it, and she did that very well.
Patrick again. Shayla Patrick coming back.
Good job by Shayla. Hangs up there, gets Gock on the way down. Finds the hole in the block as well. Ponzo! Ponzo and Patrick. I think it was all Ponzo, though.
7-2 the start for the Bears in game number 4.
Gock gets blocked, but Creighton manages to pick it up.
Ponzo looking for the surprise element again. That is out, but there is a touch.
Ponzo trying to get a kill desperately, but Creighton right there.
So 7-3.
87.
Not quite 87-3 in game number 4. Creighton gets the point.
Patrick stopped that time. Take Patrick out. Now Adams is going to block middle as Foley will hit on the left side.
Addie Foley, who's been nursing a sore ankle. Here she comes.
Addie Foley is fearless out on the left side. She goes and just takes a full swing. So now Patrick comes back in. She'll have to block middle as Staubach plays left side. So Addie Foley with a small role, but a very important one, gets that side out and point for the Bears.
Ponzo finds a winner in the corner.
Ponzo's got a lot of different shots up there, tipping short last couple times, and now this time deep into the corner.
Jamie Adams serving. And that's a good one for Abby Bowman. We haven't heard anything from her.
It's a deep cross-court shot. I think Adams was trying to decide to play it, then realized it was going in and just couldn't quite get out there for defense.
First kill of the night for Bowman. Staubach, cross court and in. Her 16th kill of the night.
Bears still have that 5-point lead.
Missouri State here in game 4. Creighton leads 2 games to 1, and Del Conte fires it into the net.
You hate to see that.
I bet that drove you crazy as a coach too, didn't it? Serve errors.
Just kind of eats away at you a little bit.
Sarah Schulze, sophomore from Dixon, Illinois. And the tip, out of necessity by Elke, was out. Allie Elke has really fallen quiet since game 1.
Yes, she has. And Gach is off the court right now. So the Bears trying to take advantage while she's not out there. And what do? Last 2 serves in the net when she's not out there. Ouch.
From the middle, attackman. Great save back there by Schulze. Now the back to Thomas, and that is out. Decker pleading her case, but to no avail.
Very much pleading. Line judge right on the line.
Yeah, it's out.
Can't really see it. Maybe we should have the line cyclops or whatever they have for tennis. You
Hawkeye.
know, the instant replay.
Hawkeye tennis line judging.
Yeah.
That thing never seemed to work when we're out at Cooper for tennis coverage. Jamie Adams down the line, but out.
The Bears playing a little lackluster here now. Creighton moves to within 3. Couple missed serves and a hit out of bounds. Some unforced errors getting Creighton right back into this. Bears struggling to win game 4. There's Gach, she's back in.
Timeout. With Missouri State leading 12-10 in game number 4. Creighton leads 2 games to 1.
From town to town, nothing outperforms the big Ford F-150. Check it out during Ford Truck Month. F-150 has the most towing and payload in its class.
Hard as these trucks work, I can see why they're number 1.
Now get 0% financing with $1,000 cash back, or get up to $4,500 cash back on F-150. Roll into Truck Month, going on now at your local Ford dealer.
Don West with Linda Dollar at Hammond Center. Missouri State leading in game number 4, 12-10, but Creighton has a 2-1 lead in games. We're talking during the break about Kelly Gach's lack of committing errors. 18 kills, 2 errors, a .485 hitting average for number 12, Kelly Gach, for the Creighton Blue Jays.
And when we mentioned before, when she is not out on the court, the Bears really need to take advantage of that. And we had 2 missed serves and an unforced error. Now she's back up there.
And you got to deal with her for all these different rotations now.
Right.
Decker, Ponzo there in the center for it. And Adams with the dig for Rivera, the libero. Thomas and Adams.
Good timing on the block by Sarah Thomas, and Jamie Adams on the attack by Elke out of the back row. Some teams choose not to block when teams hit out of the back row. It's a matter of coaching philosophy, I believe, and what you want to do. If you have a good block, I say use it.
Decker's hit into the antenna.
Bears back up to a 4-point lead. I think they're going to Gach. What do you think?
I think you would be right. The back set and Gach. Bears keep it up. Addie Foley tries to float one in. Gach has to give up the free ball. Foley from the back, part of the front row, little off the net. And that'll go down for the Blue Jays.
Both teams had opportunities to really put that ball away earlier, but just couldn't get it done. Gach might have gotten called for a throw, but was not called. Marginal.
A throw.
A throw. She tipped the ball. A lift. Throw.
Okay, same thing.
An error.
Make sure I'm getting my terminology here.
Here's a broken play. Foley. Keeps it going.
That set a little off for Gach, but she made good on it, and the hit for Foley is wide.
So Foley with a couple hitting errors now. She comes out and Patrick back in. As Creighton creeps back to within 2 again.
Creighton is playing for the match now here in Game 4. If they can pull off a Game 4 win, they'll take the victory to Wichita and take their chances with the Shockers tomorrow night. That is out from Hackman.
So some more errors by the Bears doesn't bode well here in Game 4. So they're letting Creighton right back into this Game 4.
Missouri State just hitting 179 for the match now with all the errors. 30 errors. But here's a point winner for Kara Hackman.
There we go. Kara Hackman with some authority on the slide attack.
Adams rejected by Gach.
Gets it again. Triple.
That was her 60th swing of the night right there.
Gach. Patrick saves it. Ah, good play by Levita. Sees that the Bears are out of position, then shoots it into the corner. Good job by the setter from Creighton.
Bears by a point in game number 4. Oh, that was not only into the net, it was into your teammate, Lauren Blemke.
It's a little embarrassing, but it happens. Ashley Kell now coming in for Jamie Adams. Ashley, one of the better setters, or pardon me, servers on the team, and she's the backup setter for Caitlin Ponzo.
And she got some action when Ponzo sprained her ankle a month ago. She is from Raymondville, Missouri, out in the eastern Ozarks. Houston High School. Another Creighton point.
Patrick gets stopped at the net. A good block by Creighton. Bears still holding on to the lead, however. Bears need to play better. Ponzo with the big set over the net.
The second touch. Now she'll fire it across to Staubach, who hits it into the tape. We are tied at 16 in game 4.
Coach thought maybe Creighton had touched the ball, but the ball never cleared the net. Hackman with a good pass. There's another dump. Doesn't work.
Elke. And Staubach still in play. Elke again for Creighton. Ponzo going for the surprise again. Patrick there for the block for the Bears.
Boy, Ponzo's trying everything, isn't she? I mean, she's staying involved with the offense, dumping the ball, short, deep. Finally, they end with a good block. Patrick with a nice seal on the block there. And Bears come away with that 1-point lead again.
Del Conte with the serve for the Bears. That will find its way inbounds in the corner for Creighton. Tie it at 17.
Which team is going to make a run?
Sarah Scholze with the Creighton serve. Ponzo back setting Sarah Thomas.
Those two have worked well together the last 2 seasons. Ponzo to Thomas right here. It's going to be a combination we're going to miss.
Well, last year, this Missouri State team got its first NCAA tournament win at Arkansas. Looking to go back, make another run with this good senior class.
A lot of volleyball to play before we get to that point. Thomas. She stopped this time.
Decker got the better of her again. Carolyn Decker, their 6 for the Blue Jays.
Out of bounds.
That'll tie it at 19 in game 4. Adams rotating back in for Ashley Kell now.
Sometimes you do that with a sub coming in and give Adams just a little bit of a break.
6'3" Bethany Fuller is in the middle on the front row for the Bears.
We're in the 4th set, and as we mentioned, Adams has hit the ball about 60 times, so try to save her legs a little bit.
Right shoulder anyway. Eric Kupnup going to tip that one. And that'll go down for Creighton.
Elke with the kill on the right side. So Lebeda not giving it to Gach. Thomas with the long tip, out of bounds. So here's a little bit of a run by Creighton with now a 2-point lead.
No margin for error for Missouri State, and Melissa Stokes calls timeout with Creighton leading 21-19 in game 4. The Blue Jays trying to close out the Bears here at Hammonds. Creighton in game 4. We take a look at some of the numbers, Linda, and neither team hitting particularly well. Creighton is hitting 211, Missouri State just 153.
And that's for the match. In this game, Creighton's hitting 171 to 077 for the Bears. So neither team hitting exceptionally well.
Adams, nice dig. Fuller there on the front row for the Bears. Ponzo finding Thomas with a back set. And Elke with the Creighton dig. Hold on, double hit.
Crucial play right there. Gives Creighton this 3-point lead now. Hackman coming back in. Bears desperately need a side out right here.
Getting very late now. Adams. Free ball, Missouri State. Del Conte getting it to Ponzo, and a flat-footed hit for Thomas.
Thomas was not ready to hit out of the back row, although she was really on the front row. She got confused. Bears come away with it. Thomas was not ready.
That was a kind of a sigh of relief point there for Missouri State. There was no celebrating. It was just like, gee, we won that one.
Yeah, you could see Sarah shaking her head a little bit, like, what was I doing? Try to get a little run here. There's a dump. Good save by Ponzo.
That was. And Gach. Adams for Missouri State. Decker off Adams' shoulder.
A little deflection off the block and then to Adams. Creighton can feel it, I think. They're acting like a little deflection off the block, and then Adams couldn't handle it. 3-point lead here as we've turned into the last 10 points of the match.
Patrick back in the middle now for Missouri State. That is wide. The Bears get the point. Kara Hackman to serve. A 2-point lead for Creighton in game 4, trying to close it out.
Bears hanging on.
Gach in the middle. Nice save. Adams rejected by Corey Lebeda.
Solo block after Ponzo made a great set out there, and Adams could not finish. Ponzo with the height advantage, but the ball maybe set just a little too tight to the net.
Little soft roll there by Adams. Good idea. Gach gets it back over for the Blue Jays, and Shayla Patrick, that is out.
The Bears had a free ball and a free swing up there and have another unforced error. Not looking good for the Bears at this point.
A Creighton win would put them in second place in the conference, ahead of the Bears by half a game. Bears get the point here.
Ponzo with a great dump on the set, just sets it right on the sideline.
Good serve by Adams.
Free ball.
Ponzo tries it. Tries to stuff again, and that'll work for Missouri State.
Ponzo's working hard up there. And an unforced error by Creighton that time, set up by strong net play by Caitlin Ponzo.
Deep serve from Adams. Adams on the back row. Back for Thomas from the back. Creighton makes it 26-23, and they are 4 points from closing out the match.
Good play by both teams on that rally. Bears need a side out. Tight set. Ponzo, nope.
Overpass, and Creighton 3 points away.
Not a good pass. Vanda Populaire comes in, play some defense. Creighton trying to close it out in 4. Patrick.
Elke there. And Patrick gets it over the top of the block.
Kind of floats it in, but they all count the same.
Well, crunch time, Nestle crunch time tonight for Missouri State.
Patrick hasn't served all night. Got to play some defense here.
Elke's tip. Controlled, a double hit.
Vanda Populaire comes in. What an unfortunate call for Caitlin. She's been playing so hard tonight. A little off balance. Double contact called.
The match hits the 2-hour mark here in game 4, and Creighton 2 points away from ending it. Staubach gets a big one for the Bears.
Bears need a big block.
You got the right server here now too, Linda, with Ponzo going back with what can be such a tough jump serve.
Good pass by Creighton. Little tip.
Pancake save by Vanda Populaire. The overpass, and Thomas hits it wide.
Oh.
Match point for Creighton.
Sarah had it right where she wanted it.
Laura
Just a
Plumke
little
will try to close it out. And that's how Creighton does it, with a serve that's just indefensible. And Creighton wins it in 4 over Missouri State.
Big win for Creighton tonight. Sets them up for that showdown at Wichita State tomorrow.
So Creighton goes into second place in the conference. They improved to 13-3 in the league. Missouri State now 12-3 as Creighton wins it in 4 tonight over Missouri State in volleyball. We'll wrap it up in just a moment.
It's built in the Midwest for the Midwest with a flex fuel capable 300-horse Triton V8 for best-in-class payload and towing. With 18-inch chrome wheels, chrome running boards, a chrome grille, and a leather-wrapped steering wheel. The Ford F-150 Midwest Limited Edition. Classy looks, best-in-class capability. Get it now with $2,000 in package discounts. Lease one today for $289 a month. Visit your local Midwest Ford dealer.
Mediacom Connections Channel 14 brings you new shows, big games, and exciting events each month. And now you have access to an easy-to-use program schedule and great information about everything happening on Mediacom Connections Channel 14. Just go to MediacomConnectionsChannel.com for all this information and more. If you don't want to miss another great local program, or if you're just getting ready for the next big game, point your browser to MediacomConnectionsChannel.com.
For 40 years, the #1 name in sports in the Ozarks has been Harbell. Since 1967, Harbell has been where teams and players turn when it's time to get ready for the big game. Featuring top-quality, nationally known products to their customers, no one knows the needs of the local athlete like Harbell. From providing team uniforms and sports equipment to customer service second to none, Harbell Athletic Goods has dedicated themselves to being the company people can depend on. Celebrating 40 years of serving the needs of the Ozark sports community, Harbell Athletic Goods in downtown Springfield.
Where can you find the best deal online? Your MidwestFordDealers.com. Friendly Ford, Springfield. Sellers Sexton, St. Robert. Hubert's Ford, Urbana. Maples Ford, Warsaw. Moreland Shell Ford, West Plains. Get the best deal online from your MidwestFordDealers.com.
Bears football is back, and you can catch replays of all 6 Missouri State home games throughout the season on your exclusive television home of Missouri State Bears football, Mediacom Connections Channel 14. Well, Creighton shakes things up tonight as they win here at Missouri State in 4 games, 3 games to 1 over Missouri State volleyball. Creighton has a game at Wichita State tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, and they'll close their regular season at home against Drake for their senior night next Friday. Missouri State has 3 matches left, 2 of them against lower division teams, with Drake coming here tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock Saturday evening, and then a trip to Bradley and Northern Iowa. Bradley is in the lower division, but Northern Iowa right there, and a lot could ride on both that match and Creighton's match at Wichita tomorrow night.
Well, I think the Bears are going to be rooting for Wichita State.
No doubt.
It's important, obviously, and then the swing up to Northern Iowa, as you mentioned, is very important as well. It's going to be key.
Let's look at the highlights from game number 4 here tonight, with Creighton coming away with the victory. They get it 3 games to 1. Sarah Thomas with the serve here, and Jamie Adams, and a lot of it went to Creighton's way in game number 4.
Kelly Gock, I think, was the difference maker. She hit, what was it?
She hit 415, 19 kills.
19 kills on the night, and really took them through game 3. Bears had game 3. The momentum all for them, and then all of a sudden Kelly Gock just took over. And here tonight with that last play, just typical of how the Bears played. I mean, ball hits the top of the net and then rolls over. But you know, the Bears had moments. They just couldn't string it together. They had a lot of illness and some injury that may have played a bigger factor than what they had wanted it to be tonight. But time will tell. They have another chance to play this team again.
Creighton is now 19-8 for the year, 13-3 in the conference. Missouri State now 23-5 and 12-3 in the league, with Wichita State leading the conference at 13-1 in their match tonight, going on with Drake as we speak. Air times on this one, Saturday afternoon at 1 and Sunday morning at 9:30. A lot of stuff going on with us this weekend on Mediacom, with Missouri State's last home football game coming Saturday at 1 o'clock. We'll have delayed coverage of that this weekend, and then we'll get back into the state high school football playoffs next week, with Harrisonville visiting Mount Vernon in a Class 3 quarterfinal. Good luck to Missouri State volleyball rest of the way. They're going to have the conference tournament here, and that can mean a lot.
Hopefully they'll have things back in order by then.
So now for Linda Dollar and for Corey Riggs and our crew here at Hammond Student Center, I'm Don West, as Creighton wins it in 4 over Missouri State tonight in volleyball, and we bid you a pleasant good evening from Hammond Student Center.